In our last episode, we sailed from Bimini to Eleuthera, entered Hatchet Bay, experienced a junior Junkanoo event, and got lost in the Hatchet Bay caves. Our main water tanks and jerry cans were all topped off. We were ready to start our trip back to Bimini, making a few stops along the way. The winds were out of the south-southeast. It was perfect for sailing back to Nassau. When we arrived in Nassau, Scuttlebutt started to smell the cruise ship food. The winds were favorable for us to anchor in Nassau Harbor, near Junkanoo Beach. The next morning, we got off to an early start and headed for Chub Cay in the Berry Islands. This is what it looks like over here in Chub Cay. It's a nice protected harbor. There's a marina. Very pricey though. You pay by the slip size, not the boat size. Now we're getting ready to watch the sun set in the west behind us. Tomorrow we'll be going west to Mackay Shoal, and we'll be anchoring out there, and there's nothing there.
With a pole.
With a pole, yes, there's a marker and there's no light on it.
And no land.
No land near there, just a shoal. So will be 8 hours for us, 8 hours from land in any direction, and we'll be sleeping out there. Thursday morning we'll be heading to Bimini. That'll be another 8 hours, so it's a good midpoint, Mackay Shoals. And the berries over here, very nice place to anchor out, to rest up. And
there's six boats in total.
Yeah, it's nice, but you have to make sure the winds are from the east, southeast, northeast, but it has to have some kind of eastern component to the winds. And usually you're pretty sheltered here. Okay, that's it, and we'll have more tomorrow when we
get to Mackay Shoal.
Get to Mackay Shoal. Leaving Chub Cay on our way to Mackay Shoal. There's no wind this morning. You can see the flag is just hanging there, so it's going to be all motoring. Very smooth. There hasn't been much for winds yesterday, so that gave the seas a chance to settle down. And right now, the boat, you can lock up the wheel and it does stay in the same heading for a while, but no wind. And sunrise is going to be in another 10 minutes approximately. So we'll make sure we get a nice picture of that. A sunken barge. I did see it on the chart over here, but I didn't know that it would be sticking out of the water. So something that you wouldn't see at night. Mackay Shoal, not much more than a pole sticking out of the water over there. We're going to anchor a little bit away from it because people might be aiming for that as they cut through. We got to enjoy a beautiful sunset, and the next morning we got off to an early start, and 8 hours later we were arriving in Bimini.
Radio Beach, looking east from the west.
It felt great to be back in Bimini. A few days after we arrived, we were lucky enough to get a freshwater rinse. Otherwise, you have to pay 25 cents a gallon for fresh water.
ready to go on the mangrove tour?
We're going to go through the mangrove maze, and if we don't get lost, I think we'll be able to show people the video.
Okay.
And this one here is going to be staying here to watch the vessel.
Yeah.
It's rolling right now.
Hi, Bubba.
So we're in the middle of the mangrove.
Right in the middle?
As you can see, well, maybe not quite in the middle, but as you can see from the GPS, it's not really a well laid out trail. That's why we had to leave the breadcrumb trail. The tracking feature has been started so that we can find our way back. Because it could be a problem. Yeah, here's a bird watching platform they built out here. We saw some sharks earlier, little brown sharks that are about maybe 3-4 feet long.
Some birds we couldn't get too close to. They would take off when they heard us
And
coming.
the sharks, they hide in the seaweed on the bottom. They kind of settle in there. Right now, we're looking to go back out where we started, and there's an entrance to another mangrove that we're going to check out a little bit. But we don't want to get caught when the tide gets too low, because we'll end up carrying our dinghy out of the mangrove. That would not be good.
Sorry, everybody, get going.
All right.
All right.
You can see the line in the sand from other boats that have gone in and out when the tide was low. And it kind of cleans up the bottom where you see the sand. It cuts through all the seaweed and it kind of leaves a trail. So now we're going to go into the second mangrove path. We're going to go in there a little ways, and you can see the path here where somebody touched bottom at low tide. So there we go. Our next, it looks real pretty up ahead. Wow. I think it opens up at the other end. Wow, this is a real wild safari over here. Here we're just coming out of the second mangrove that we explored. There might be some more mangroves to explore, but I think these are the two major ones. So, the water's starting to go down, and we're gonna go back. And we did it all so far on one tank of gas. I didn't have to add any more gas. So, yeah. Let's go back.
It was beautiful.
We're here to film some stingrays We spent the rest of the afternoon filming wildlife around the marina and South Bimini. JC and Mandy flew into Bimini for a long weekend, so we enjoyed some local food, and the next morning we set sail for the Samoan shipwreck. After swimming around the shipwreck, we set sail for Chub Cay, set the anchor in Citrus Haven, and enjoyed a beautiful sunset. The next day we sailed back to Big Game Marina, and after JC and Mandy got settled into their room, we rented a golf cart and explored the island. The weekend went by quickly. Now it was time to take the water taxi to the airport and fly back to Boston. Join us next time when we get Summerfest ready for spring launch. Volunteer as boat captains for the St. Vincent Swim Across the Sound, and set sail for destinations unknown. Thank you for subscribing, and we love seeing your comments. We're looking forward to more sailing adventures.